What coming to you live from JDM Hawaii. Today's video is going to be a lot about Daihatsus, a little bit of chit chat, a little bit of backstory, a little bit of because we currently have two Daihatsu Moves for sale, both of them for $7,000. And I rarely come here and talk about price, just because someone who's been doing importing for such a long time and understands ports make a big difference. The coast you live in makes a big difference. As you know, Hawaii is one of the most expensive states. But not only that, let's say you live in Ohio, for example. Shout out to Right Hand Imports. When he imports a car, he needs to factor in transport all the way from Baltimore to his house. Someone like me who lives in New York, I'm very close to the New Jersey port, so I can sell cars for a little cheaper because my expenses are a lot lower. But with the new price drop with many of the vehicles here, there's some absolute steals. Like this for $7,000, even in New York, even in Texas. Comment below. Tell me this is an amazing price. I'm going to drive it. We're going to learn more about it. But look at it. Clean. White rims. Clean. Stick shift. Two-wheel drive. Same engine as my Daihatsu Mira walkthrough. That's why we're going to do a little bit of mourning in this video as well. But these are sick. They're very similar to the Wagon R, but it actually has 4 doors. I absolutely love the interiors on the Daihatsu Moves. You got that nice pattern, power windows in the back that didn't cheap out. This is to hang, I believe, like your jacket when you're in Japan. It has the cool little cup holders over there. Look how clean this is. $7,000. It only has 92,000 kilometers, which is less than 60,000 miles with AC and upgraded speakers. And it even gets better because behind us, look at this Kenwood. $7,000 in Hawaii. And let's say you want something a little newer, because this one's a 1999. It does not, unfortunately, have the turbo, but it is still stick shift. Has some additional room. Has some cup holders there. That's a nice touch. The older model does not have cup holders in the back. I believe it even has less kilometers. Dual airbags too, which is a nice touch. But you can see the front end is a bit different. That's a 99. That's a 97. Here's a look at the driver's side. I believe this is out of Ontario. Okay, it has essentially the same exact kilometers. We're talking about like a 2,000-3,000 mile difference. But power windows all around. Again, cool cup holders. Rear wiper. I'll pop the hood on both. I might even drive both, honestly, in this video. But I like these seats. You see the small attention to detail with the blue, green, yellow, red? I've been driving the deck van every day. I think I might switch up and change to the Daihatsu Move. But we have the typical 3-cylinder single cam. This is the same engine that's in almost all the Daihatsus. Some of them are turbo. For example, this exact engine is in a Daihatsu Mira Gino that is turbo. Which is why this one, as you can see, is non-turbo, has so much room. Brand new belts. This one more than likely got serviced in Japan prior to export. Nice and clean. And then we could work our way to this one. This one, as much as I've loved driving the deck van, I think I gotta drive this home. I think I need some power. I've been, cruising in my big little family van, but no. Now that he told me the price of this, you know what? Before we pop this hood, let's do a little reflecting. About a month ago, I was driving home. I was on the interstate, and I saw in my rearview mirror a white Civic coming in hot. I didn't really expect the worst. I was just like, okay, they're going to break at some point. They're going to break at some point. And unfortunately, as you guys saw, they never broke. They ended up telling me that I was going too slow. And I don't really want to relive that again. But basically, the reason for this little yap session is I have been dealing with insurance. And it's been very toxic. They've been telling me things that I don't want to hear. And we're going to stay positive. And we're going to hope that because I invested $35,000 into my Daihatsu Mira walkthrough, am I going to get $35,000 back? No. But am I going to take $8,000? Absolutely not. So the reason for this yap session is when it comes to Daihatsu Mira walkthroughs, there's always going to be a warm place in my heart because I don't know if that one is even worth saving or replacing. You know what I mean? Like for me, in my personal opinion, my Blueberry Lemon was the top of the top for me. I think it was the greatest Mira walkthrough ever. It had every single thing that I would want my vehicle to have. Yes, I could have did some extra stuff like I wanted stars in the headliner. But when it comes to just like turbo noise, exhaust, window, rims, interior, rear upholstered seats, dash, you name it, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that car. So I don't really care to get another one because I know it won't be as good as my first. They say your first love is your deepest, and that's how I feel about Daihatsu Mira walkthrough. So now when it comes to Daihatsu Mira Genos, I still feel a little warm, fuzzy inside because no, my car wasn't that, but it did have that front end. Now when it comes to this Daihatsu Move, if you take a look at this, you'll recall that this essentially is the dash on my Mira walkthrough. I took the dash out of a TRXX, but it's essentially the same exact thing. I had my double din here, my AC controls. All this was exactly the same as far as my cluster. I had my power windows here. So when I see this sight here, it reminds me of my walkthrough. That's why I wanted to give that quick little conversation before we pop this hood, because when I pop the hood again, I'm going to see my Mira walkthrough. And I think it's also pretty crazy that we live in a world where I get rear-ended and I need to fight to get the money that I deserve. We'll see what happens. You guys will stay tuned. But now let's pop this hood. Had to give you guys a quick little yap session. That's my therapy. One of the best engines you could get in a K car. Timing chain, twin cam, 16 valve, 4-cylinder, magnesium valve cover. I am going to drive this car. I think I'm going to take it home. I think we need to make some extended content on this because as perfect as my Mira walkthrough was, there were certain days where I was like, you know what? The automatic transmission is kind of boring. I wish I had stick shift. So yes, this car is pretty boxy. I wouldn't say it's a Daihatsu Mira walkthrough as far as aerodynamics go, but we're going to start this one up. I'm going to drive it around. Let's see how it does on the highway, but I think we're going to get some extended footage because I also want to drive this one before it gets too dark. And before we get any comments of people saying that I should go through my insurance because I have Haggerty and I put it valued at $1 million, I was rear-ended. I should not go through my insurance. She should go through her insurance since she was 100% negligent in rear-ending my Mira walkthrough. But enough about that because we're just going to stay positive. Let's get the camera all mounted up. Let's start this up. And I don't think I've ever driven this car. It's been here for, in my opinion, way too long. And now that it's 7 Gs, are you kidding me? Just seeing the dash light up, bruh. Just seeing all these lights. I couldn't imagine my car being stick shift. I wouldn't want it to be though, honestly. I think a stick shift Mira walkthrough, just a stick shift car in New York is annoying, period. A stick shift K car, more annoying because first and second gear are so short. And then my Mira walkthrough was gonna be used for like a promotional vehicle, so I figured other people would be driving it, and then I gotta worry about them burning out my clutch. We unfortunately never got to that point anyway. But currently in second gear, I already feel the difference. Like, I'm gonna put my foot down right here. You ready? Third gear only, and that was almost 100 kilometers an hour. And it has a hood scoop, which mine did not have, so we're getting some extra flow. I hear a little sound in the front though. Let me make sure all my lug nuts are good. For better, for worse, I'm kind of happy that I now can identify this sound so easily. Look at this. This one essentially isn't on at all. So let's drive back. Let's tighten this up. And then we'll do some more pulls. But this thing is amazing, man. Look at it in the sun. I love the white rims too. I would 100% buy one of these. I'm going back to Japan in September. Let's see what happens. I think when I get back, I'm going to get back into my purchasing to resell. When I was there last time, I knew I was going to be back in Japan right away, so I really didn't buy too many cars for myself. But I think when I go back, I'm going to start hoarding the Rover Minis, the 2-door Meriginos, the Delicas, the Moves, all the fun cars that I really like. They're going to come to New York. Surprisingly, I've never had a Daihatsu car. I've had midgets. I had the Daihatsu Tri in Japan. My first K-truck ever was a Daihatsu Hijet, but I've never had a Move or a TRXX, a Copen yet. So I can't wait to get myself a Daihatsu car one day. All right, now that that's nice and tight, might as well hop over in the 99. Non-turbo, but I feel like this is not gonna be a slouch. Starts right up. AC blows cold. Radio works. Even more roomy. Seats are extremely comfortable too. For being a non-turbo, do you see that bolster? I feel like I'm in a sports car right now, but I guess I'll let this one warm up a little bit. Oh wow. That's a little torquey. This almost feels faster. Yo. Alright. I do see the difference. Honestly, it's at the higher speeds where the turbo makes a huge difference. Take this turn. Foot all the way down. Third gear. 4. 100 kilometers an hour. 5,000 on the RPM. Not bad. The thing with getting a non-turbo too is there's less things to worry about, less things to break, less expensive to just maintain over time. So it really just depends on the consumer. Me personally, I am willing to take on the extra expenses, the extra things that could go wrong, that probably will go wrong seeing as a 25-year-old car, just for that. To me, that is orgasmic, as I would call it. That's can't even come up with the words. I like a lot of the 99s have this little rest pocket and then an actual glove box. This one has a cup holders up here, which we learned. I think this is a really nice attention to detail. That means all the way cold and then all the way hot. That's 50/50. AC, of course, like I mentioned, 104,000 kilometers. Little extra storage pocket there. Right now, I am at my natural driving position. So let's work our way to the back and see what space is looking like. Okay. Does this also slide? Oh, wow, look at this. We have rear seats that slide, and then they also adjust like this. I did not know it did that. It did all that by itself. What? Hold on. So if you press this, it just... $7,000 in Hawaii, where a bottle of water costs you 20 bucks, where a haircut costs you $52. I don't know if I told you guys the story yet, but I went to get a haircut. Sorry, $62. I went to get a haircut. Mind you, I don't have hair, and I paid $62. What I was really trying to show you is that the rear seats, depending if you're taller, go back further like this. So let's say you have someone that's really tall and they want to essentially, yo, this thing just has a mind of its own. Does this one do it too? Okay, so this one is not as loose, but I didn't want to fold up. It got, oh, okay, the seat's hurting it, that's why. That seat's a little further up. But yeah, look at that with additional space. So this is third gear, where most people probably would be hanging out. I could go into fourth, drop even lower on the RPMs, and then this is fifth, 2,000. I'm gonna do one more circle. That way we can bang through the gears a little bit. I'll drop down all the way to first. Yeah, I'm telling you, this clutch is like an ACT 6-pot. Yeah, it's definitely no slouch. That's the good thing about these 99. They're all coil pack, fuel injected. And this one being stick shift, you won't have that many issues going up any major hills. But I'll drop down to second. Drives great. It really drives good. I'm gonna get back into the turbo. This might be a really small detail to some of you, but the cool thing about the 99s, you get a clicker. I get to lock and unlock, unlike the older one, which is just a normal Daihatsu key. But now with the lug nuts tightened, I guess let's start this one up. Let's take a look at the back. See how these rear seats work. So we don't have any pull tabs or anything to make it go down. I know it has this. And then these slide as well. Yes, indeed they do. but I don't think they fold down completely flat. Let's try that again. I want to assume that it does though. There's probably just a hook. Oh, it's probably right here. No? Let me try the other seat. It wouldn't completely blow my mind if it didn't, but at the same time it kind of would also. Just because who doesn't want that additional room? No. I think these stay like that. If you have a Daihatsu Move, comment below. Yeah, I don't think they fold all the way forward. Oh wow, look at this one. Even has a Kenwood CD changer under there. Yeah, this one is a steal. It's just, you know, it may come with some additional problems, but with the speakers, the hood scoop, the rims, nice pattern, clean interior, technically less miles. I don't know how this didn't sell yet. When they told me the price, because they literally dropped all the prices today, I was like, oh yeah, I'm making a video on this. If only we could take this to like City Field, put an exhaust on it, put a blow off valve, put an intake like I had on mine. All right, that sound should be gone. And now, it's just missing the psh. That's it. It has the pull. You guys saw it. Straight up the line. I'll do it again. It feels like Dale's SRXX. And that's what I love about these, is that these are kind of like the K-Van sports cars. Like they're super tall, 4 doors, and it's bigger than the Alto, it's bigger than a Beat, it's bigger than a Cappuccino, but it's still turbo. Same engine in a lot of those cars. We just got some random sun shower, so let's try our rear wiper. That indeed works. It sounds just like my Mira walkthrough. I think it could use an exhaust just to liven it up a little bit. Oh wow, it doesn't have fog. I just realized. Nothing makes me happier than a turbo K car. Van, truck, car, whatever the case may be. The fact that I'm in a right-hand drive car, look at that, pushing myself back, and I'm going 40 kilometers an hour, which is like 30 miles per hour. And I got a smile on my face. You can't do that in an M3, in a Dodge Demon, in a Corvette. You gotta be doing illegal things to have fun in those cars. But with K's, this is first gear. Nice little acceleration pull. Yeah, this one definitely needs an exhaust. I feel like it's a little clogged under my seat. Still drives fine, but I think it's being restricted right now. Or it shouldn't be. It should be breathing to its maximum capacity right now. But I'm gonna turn this one in, and we're actually gonna look at one other car, a Mitsubishi. So I figured while we're on the topic of hot hatches, might as well talk about the Townbee. So this one is $6,000. 2-door doilies. Has a face that you either love or hate. I had a Mitsubishi Minica. That's the full name of this car. It's a Mitsubishi Minica Townbee. And some people thought it was the worst car ever. I thought it was one of my favorite cars ever. And again, it was pretty inexpensive. This one has aftermarket taillights, backup camera, which is pretty cool. I actually just realized I had 2 of these. If you guys remember the red one, it had these same plaid seats. We called it the Burberry interior. You got wood grain here. This one has 148,000 kilometers, has an airbag, has a clicker. That's pretty cool. Let's see if this one starts. Of course it does. 3-speed automatic, but I remember this thing hauling. Love the doilies. Rear seats are fresh as ever. I doubt anyone really ever sat back there. The only imperfection is this. Wouldn't say it's the end of the world. Let's pop the hood. What was under here? If you guys remember, we put an intake. I'll see if I have any screenshots or photos. The Minica was such a fun car. Yeah, it was just like this. We put a little motorcycle intake right here. We removed this huge thing and we just put an intake there. Oh, it was the Topo BJ. I had 4 Minicas almost. Look, brand new coils, battery. Three-cylinder, okay, yeah, just had to confirm. But yeah, let's drive this one. Even has an ETC reader and the AC is blowing ice cold. Let's get out of here. The Minica brings back so many positive memories. I don't even know what you want to talk about. I was talking about the white one that I got painted at City Field, and I put underglow. We painted the calipers blue. I got white rims. I did a lot to that one, but then we had the burgundy one that had the same interior, but then we also had the Topo BJ. I guess it wasn't the same, but it had a very similar engine. But let's see what this one is like. Don't sleep on these automatics too. These automatics are just as fast as the other ones, if not faster, because you don't got to worry about shifting every 3 seconds. I remember I was letting one of my friends drive the white one, and they were getting like 30 miles per gallon, just using it around Brooklyn the entire time. Let's see. Is this boogie like I remember? Yep, it does. If it wasn't for this car in front of me, I'd be flying. Wait till I bust this right. 3-speed automatic. Power steering too. Yeah, I feel like this is legit faster than the Move. It's really just because it's automatic. Going through all the gears in those cars, it slows you down so much, but yeah, drives good. Shift smooth. Brakes, we're good. Yeah, I'm not gonna turn actually. Let's enjoy this a little longer. Let's put the AC back on. $6,000 for Hawaii. If I had the same exact car back in New York, I would probably list it for $6,000, and that's with little to no expenses. I live near the port. I don't have any employees. I don't have a brick and mortar. I don't have a repair shop. I don't have to worry about payroll or any of that stuff, taxes. I just need to get the car in, do my little techie touch and some nice little things and stuff for $6,000. That is cheap. Not only could you finance this vehicle, but you get the warranty. You get to walk into a dealership. You get to test drive it. Yeah. There's a couple other ones too. Stay tuned for the next videos that are significantly cheap, period. Hawaii, New York, California, Washington, Texas, Florida. This is a good price, period. $6,000. My mom would love this car too, by the way. Cruising. Handling great. Taking the bumps great. AC isn't even on max either. It could go higher. Wow, look at this guy. You know what? I might even take this home. Yeah, I'm gonna trade the deck van for this. I'm not even joking, you guys. I'll update you guys when I drive home. Look, they're moving some of the cars to park up the dealership. I'm gonna trade the deck van in for this guy. Just in case anybody thought I was joking, here's my luggage, book bag, and everything I need to go home. But you know what it is about cars like this? It's like no one is starting their sentence off with, you know what my favorite K car is? A Mitsubishi Minica Townbee. We talk about the Alto, AZ1, Cappuccino, Beat, Wagonar, Move, deck van all the time. And I'm not necessarily calling it underrated because that's a stretch. It's just, it is exactly what you think it is. An automatic, non-turbo, egg-looking K car. But that's the cool thing about it, and that's why they're usually so inexpensive, because there is no market, there is no aftermarket things that people are doing. There's no one building up a Minica Townbee. But with all that being said, I am going to drive this car home. It is automatic. I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Road to 50K, and if you're watching this far, let's leave a like. Come on, let's get to 250 likes. I know 250 people are going to watch this video. Why do you hate me? What did I do to you? Just leave a like. Oh, just go boop. Go on your screen right now. Go on your phone. Just tap it. Tap. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. Now let's get to 50K subscribers, 250 likes, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Remember the name. This is way before the fame.